They're still pushing hard.
Whine of those gear-driven wheels.
It's great to see a female rider out there with these men.
All right, we got the ESK8 Novice up next. ESK8 Novice class is coming up next. They're getting ready. Yeah, we've got Gialong Tonthat, Alex Garza, James Hodgson,
Diana, Artem, Alex Williams, Jon Thompson, Jeo Nebrejo, and Michael Lobue.
Oh, is that a French name?
Could be, but I'm from Canada, so I might pronounce it that way.
Parlez-vous français?
Je petit peu en français.
More than I know.
I'm just super happy to be here to give some insight on the e-skates, and even if I do bring a little bit of that Canadian accent or those isms on you.
I can't imagine that the cold track is very good for these wheels. They're different types of wheels, like urethane and
yeah. So there's urethane, there's rubber, and one thing when you have to worry about when it starts to get cold with these e-skates right before they start to take off here is a power slide that's going to be happening. As they roll off, we're starting the novice e-skate class, waiting for that green flag, and off it goes. Coming out front. They are going fast down that track.
The whine of those gear-driven wheels, the gear-driven transmissions, or whatever you call them.
Exactly. You're right on track. Those are gear drives that you can hear that tingle on the back. It's very common from those Stooge race boards. But we got a lot of belt drives out here that are a lot quieter, but you still hear those motors just whine. As you look at them making their way around that, you'll notice they're getting a lot tighter around those corners than those EUCs that we just saw. And they're really trying to hold that traction in the cold as they make their way around the third and fourth corners now.
Alex Garza, number 72, is in the first position, trying to make a little bit of room in between himself and second place.
And they're doing exactly that too. The field seems to be separating a bit, and in the middle they are collected quite well. The e-skates can... we have a yellow flag on the track. I do see a yellow flag. They're still going around, making their way around, and coming around to the start-finish here for the first time.
We'll see if Alex Garza is able to hold on to that healthy lead that he has. Anything could happen at any time. Little speed wobble, little slip here or there. Doesn't take much to have a position change out here.
And very much. On e-skates, it can happen in a split second. A very split second, a wobble, and then suddenly you're in the air. So these guys are doing great. We have number 80, Gialong Tonthat, in first place. That's a name we've seen before, that's for sure. And then Alex Garza, right behind in second place. Middle of the pack is holding quite well together, and you'll notice it's great to see a female rider out there with these men. Diana working real hard to hold her place right in the middle of the pack. She's not falling back one bit. We love to see that more and more every year as we find these people coming back. She's also known as Dina.
Yeah, not these Intro to Speed events. Not only do we have EUCs out here, but also e-skates. I believe that Intro to Speed started as an e-skate event.
Yeah, as we talked before, Mario Chacon is a big proponent of that, and he is very much invested into e-skates, riding those Stooge race boards you find on these tracks. Now, you don't find many of those Stooge race boards in this novice class. We have a lot of other boards out there, and I believe what I may have seen in first place from afar may have been a Hoyt Street board.
That's Gialong Tonthat on that Hoyt Street. We'll get a confirmation on that when they come back around.
Yeah, it looks like one of those dad bod boards, and it's an American company. Really cool to see that board humping out on the track here, right out front in first place, and he's making quite the gap.
Dad board? I've got a dad board. I've got a dad bod. Intro to Speed, once again, it's really great that the amateurs can get out to these Intro to Speed events so that they can excel through these different classes.
Exactly. As we hit the final lap here, that Intro to Speed is teaching them how to get those proper race lines and where to pick up that speed, where to slow down that speed. It's very much an educational space, and a lot of these people are coming from those Intro to Speed events as they make their way through.
And 20, James Hodgson is in third place. So we've got Gialong, Alex Garza, and James Hodgson for second and third place at this time. Now, you see some of these racers with what looks like a flannel shirt on, and you wonder, that can't provide much protection.
But you wouldn't believe underneath that flannel, there might actually be some guards underneath there for the elbows, the spine, even the shoulders. And I tell you, I ride one of those jackets with the pads on the inside.
Lazy rolling.
Lazy rolling. And on when you're racing on the track, it gives you that extra bit of assurance that you are going to be okay. And I've slid out a couple times. They do save you.
Beyond Rider Safety Gear is another friend of Amped Electric Games, and they also put out a really nice padded flannel as well.
Yeah, now they're really spreading out on that track on that final lap. They may be unleashing the power in their remotes. If you look closely in their hands, in one of their hands, they'll be holding a remote. It could be different shapes, different sizes. It's definitely a unique aspect of these as they make their way across the finish line. We'll see who comes along first. And it is Gialong Tonthat in first place, making their way, and a bit of a gap between first and second. In second place, coming along, we got Alex Garza taking second place in the ESK8 Novice class. They're still pushing hard. The gaps were longer, but they're pushing those remotes. And James Hodgson coming in third place. It's crazy to see, Seth, how they really spread out, but at the beginning they were quite close together.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of, this is the great equalizer out here. You get out here on this track, and it's in a lot of cases it's the riders racing against themselves as much as they're racing against anybody else.
I was just gonna say that's one particular thing in this novice class is dealing with the nerves. A lot of the time it's the first time on the track, and I remember back at ESK8 there was a few riders that we had that were quite nervous coming off Whiteface. There we go. That is the novice ESK8 all concluded there. So one of the big proponents was Mario Chacon in that intro to speed, and it's really cool to see those racers.
Since we're talking so much about Mario, I think the folks at home should get to know a little bit more about him.
I agree, it's worthwhile. So Mario Chacon.
My name is Mario Chacon. I'm from Long Beach, California. My Instagram handle is Mario_rides with a Z. I do race competitively. My ultimate goal is to beat the previous time I would be at the track. Intro to speed is where guys come out to hone their skills, whether it be on an e-bike, a unicycle, an e-skate, or an electric go-kart. Sometimes we get those guys come out. Essentially a training ground. Intro to speed happens every week. There are different communities amongst the US that make it happen. You can find us on Facebook. We do have a Facebook group called Intro to Speed with the number 2 in it. That is the most effective way to find us. You can post on there, send us a message, and we'll get back to you if you have any information regarding how to get it started in your area.
Thanks for watching Race and Ride at Apple Valley Speedway, presented by Stooge Raceboards and broadcast by Amped Electric Games, the voice of electric sports.